Today, I'm gonna teach you how to crush those annoying moonballers. And if you're one of those annoying moonballers,
stop it. Get some help.
And so that you can take everything you're about to learn about the high backhand and take it out onto the courts without having to take any notes whatsoever, make sure to claim your free high backhand cheat sheet by clicking the link in the description below. Let's go. First, you want to raise your backswing height by having a more upright posture as you step into the shot. This is very similar to the high forehand video that I explained a few weeks earlier. A higher backswing is going to allow you to have a more horizontal force in your swing and ultimately drive the ball flat and deep. And taking your racket back higher with your arms is ineffective because it disrupts the proper mechanics of your backhand. But unlike your forehand, if you try to adjust your torso to be lower, to swing up for more topspin, you're gonna have a bad time. This simply won't work due to the mechanics of the backhand that we'll talk about in a bit. For the one-handed backhand, your backswing is naturally larger than other ground strokes. Your racket head travels far enough down to build enough vertical force to hit a heavy topspin shot without having to tilt your torso and start from an even lower position. If you have a two-handed backhand, your best option is to drive the ball flat and deep. This is because generating a topspin shot like on the forehand side is impossible, and it will only result in a slower floating ball that the opponent can easily attack. And now for part 2, the higher contact point, get ready to meet the newest member of our team, none other than Coach Vanderheyden. Coach Vanderheyden was directly mentored by Dr. Brian Gordon and legendary coach Rick Macy, who we actually talked about in the wrist lag video. Make sure to give him a warm welcome. Here we go.
I am so excited to be a part of the legendary Racket Flex team. Let's get right into the contact point. After you complete your preparation, the next step is to initiate the forward swing. This is where most players struggling with the high ball fail. What you want to do is adjust the position of your body to carry your racket to a higher point without losing any power. Depending on what grip you're using, or whether it's a one-handed or a two-handed backhand, the way that you're going to adjust your body is going to change. Adjusting for the high ball on the two-handed backhand is the exact mirror of what you do on the forehand side. Since your racket is being carried up and forward, partly by your left arm and shoulder, all you have to do is raise your left shoulder up and the racket will automatically rise up to that optimal position. If your contact position needs to be higher, all you have to do is tilt your trunk and your shoulder will elevate, and thus your racket will be in a higher position. It's important not to raise your racket by raising your arms from the shoulder joints because this natural rotation will be lost and your racket face will open up. Ultimately, this will lead you to floating the ball or making the ball fly out. To get the feel of using the right muscles for this shot, start standing straight up without your racket. Now squeeze your right side abdomen so that your left shoulder rises. This is exactly what you want to feel when you hit the ball. Now, if you're using the one-handed backhand, the adjustments you're going to make are going to be different. Since the one-handed backhand doesn't use the left shoulder muscle, you have to adjust and tilt your torso further back in the opposite direction to elevate that right shoulder. Players with conservative grips like Federer will adjust the racket head to be more vertical at contact. If you're using a milder grip than the Eastern, this is going to be the optimal way to raise that contact point. But there's a problem here. Unlike the forehand and the two-handed backhand, the one-handed backhand doesn't have as much rotational force going up to the ball. As a result, a natural tendency for many players is to keep the racket horizontal and raise the arm up to contact. If you simply raise the arm though, your racket face will open up and you'll either float the ball or hit the ball out. Instead, you must make an active effort to raise the racket orientation by rotating your arm outward. One thing that I've seen work to great effect is to visualize the racket head being above your hand at contact. On the other hand, players with more extreme grips like Justine Henin will adjust to the high ball by tilting their torso back. If you're using an extreme grip, raising the racket orientation will cause the racket face to slant sideways. So instead, just keep the racket in a more horizontal position.
Just like always, the follow-through should happen naturally if you've done steps 1 and 2 correctly. Simply follow through as you would naturally. I'll cover the natural follow through of the backhand in another video. Assuming you already have the proper mechanics for the one-hand and the two-handed backhand, if you master these steps, you'll be well on your way to neutralizing and attacking those wicked high balls. But what if you ask yourself, what if the ball is so high that adjusting the torso and racket orientation just isn't enough? At one point or another, no matter what grip you're using, eventually you'll have to switch to a slice. If you slice the ball deep and low, this is one of the best ways that you can neutralize high balls. So when the ball is low, it's even harder to bring it back up with any topspin. The danger here though is if you hit the ball short, most skilled players will just attack the ball. For the slice especially, a higher takeback is critical when the ball comes high since your racket has to travel down the ball. Some players using the two-handed backhand will have a relatively low takeback on their slice. But when the ball comes high, even they will prepare the racket higher. Just like all the other strokes, step into the ball with an upright posture. If the ball is coming high and relatively slow, while you're slicing down, it's critical that you shift your weight through the shot in order to drive it deep. You can see in this excellent clip of Dominic Thiem practicing the slice that he'll actually take a few shuffle steps forward to ensure that he's shifting his weight through the slice. If the ball is coming fast and high with lots of topspin, your main goal will be to slice it back without losing control of the shot. When you do this, your swing path needs to be more vertical, so slice down harder to counteract the pace and the spin of the ball. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to give Coach Vanderhayden here a warm welcome. And if you want to take exactly what you learned here and immediately go out to the court, make sure to download our action plan by clicking the link in the description below. Until next time, go out and train hard. See you in the next video.